I can't get away from the sexual imagery in this game. I mean, fucking Silent Hill 2 is supposed to be the one with all the sexual theming and images. Because the psychological damage in that one is more... We'll get into that when I play that one. But the sexual imagery is definitely present in this one, whether on purpose or not. At least in the case of the chainsaw. Because, yeah, that's, you know, given the configuration of the handles and the swiping motion with which you would use a chainsaw, that's a fairly natural way to hold a chainsaw. But yo. Harry's ready and raring to go. First the pipe, now the chainsaw. But even more so... Oh, hey, so there's a little birdcage. This doesn't become relevant quite yet. But I kind of do like that they have a bit of foreshadowing to later puzzles in this area. Oh, that's the... Oh, my room. Here's the turtle plate. So this one pulls... It throws a little jump scare at you, sort of. But it seems to be kind of apropos of nothing. Like, you see the environment, you know, it's the bathroom, it's grody, it's gnarly, it's off-putting. It's quiet. Thud, right? It sounded like porcelain smashing. Nothing changed. Say something about that toilet. He doesn't even want to. So yeah, it's a little minor jump scare. Which I can get behind. You know, not making overt jump scares, it's nice. That was minor because it wasn't like loud fucking clattering kablamo. It wasn't dogs jumping through the window. I guess there's no reason to really go through the laundry room. So, yeah, observe the area of effect of the chainsaw on the nurses. Ouch, cut me. Right. Especially the walking back and forth. Oh, okay. No, I'm doing fine. Yeah. I mean, I guess, really, those nurses are proper fucked. Anyway. I guess now it's just... With the chainsaw, though, that's not what I would call proper. No, sir. Here's a blood pack. Remember this. Remember where this is. Remember this location. Right? I'll point out something about that later. It's in this storage room. These shelves here. There are two storage rooms that look kind of like this in the same hospital. But this is the one where the blood pack was on that shelf. There's a door leading here. Leading nowhere, rather. Perfect! Who the fuck? Who wants more? She came back for sloppy seconds. It's not exactly what that means, but you know. The chainsaw does pose a little risk of them getting a swipe in at you. But if you just go like... Step back a little bit, you're still doing damage. Yeah, just that slow, methodical chainsaw, pelvic thrust. Yeah. That's Harry's method. And here's a plate. Plates on your ass, bitch. Plates on your ass. You're right, though. I'm dropping plates, and I'm dropping plates of cat. Don't drop it, though. It's probably ceramic and will break. Hey, maybe that's what it was. Maybe the plate of turtle... No, it didn't. Checking map. Did I miss any rooms? I didn't miss any rooms. I missed this door, though, so I'm going to open it to fill out my map. I did it. We're getting in a hospital, going down, down, down. Yeah. I mean, sexual imagery and the usage of these weapons alone, you know? Lay in the pipe. Giving him a good pounding. And then the chainsaws tearing that... You know what? Nope. No. I'm gonna nip that one in the bud. Gloop glop. Okay. Oops, not use. These guys... Definitely some tormented little girl symbolism here. Not tormented exactly, but unless it is tormented. Many ways, but I think it was like on the wiki or something that they posited that those represented her fear of snakes. Now that one, no, come on. That one is way too simplified. I mean, even the one I think, even what I think that represents is pretty simplified. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, they're a multitude of tubes that are blood hungry in a hospital. You know, knowing what we eventually know about Alessa, I mean, if you're watching this, it's not unlikely you're familiar with some Silent Hill lore, but if you're watching this for the first time, then hopefully the spoilers I've already dropped haven't been too many. Yeah. But here it is. This, right here. This is what those represent. This is what, to a tormented, hospital, agonized, hospital bedridden girl in agony is going to think of IV tubes. Oh, also the fact that they were like an impassable obstacle for me. Like they just, you know, when I try to move past them, they start tangling all up and getting in the way. You know, imagine if a little girl hooked up to all sorts of life support tries to leave the bed. You know, not only, you know, being in pain while doing so and making a mess, pulling down the IVs and shit like that, or like, you know, knocking over a bedpan. Ugh. Hopefully we don't have to deal with that symbolism. Other than the fact that this is a crapsack world. Oh! And these are blocked too, right? Yeah. And this one is locked. Oh, here's more foreshadowing for a later puzzle. In fact, their initials are an anagram for later. Whoa! Really brought that one first full circle. For Solkle. It's blank. But yeah, there's snakes, quote unquote snakes, which, I mean, they don't even have eyes, and they have lamprey-like mouths, so they're really more like leeches. Because I think it was a lamprey who looked like that. And they're much more leech-like. Alright. And, you know, they obstruct somebody's path past them by becoming tangled while feeding on blood. Like, you know, life support tubes. You know, giving her plasma. Clouds flowing over hills, sky on a sunny day, tangerines that are bitter. That color is a little bit off. Okay, lucky four-leaf clover, violets in the garden, dandelions along a path, unavoidable sleeping time. Liquid flowing from the slashed wrist. Subtlety! So, minor bit of crypticism. Which one did I just pick up? Was that cat? The cat. You know, the clue was all related to color, but like, what's odd, not really odd, but what's slightly confounding about this puzzle is the inclusion of the Through the Looking Glass and or Alice in Wonderland, you know, whatever. The inclusion of the Lewis Carroll characters as like potential clues. You know, you might think that, oh, I've got to figure out some sort of March Hare puzzle. No, it's just color. It's just color, yo. And then, like, you first have to determine that color is what the clues are telling you. And then you gotta note, so the next thing you think is, alright, so what order do I put them in? But then you gotta go and see what colors are already here, and then see which order that little list puts them in. And then, boom, just fill in the blanks. So, like, while that puzzle is ultimately simple, it's not a Resident Evil puzzle that's just like, you might say, you know, fucking, again, quote-unquote puzzle, because pretty much the best, most Resident Evil puzzles, after the first game. The first game was a little bit more involved with puzzles. But after the first game, the puzzles get much weaker. They get much more, well, the door is locked. There's a spade etched under the handle. You know? It doesn't get much more complicated than that. Hey, no touchies. I'm busy penetrating. Oh, penetrating with a nice back massage? Oh, that's nice, actually. Their bedside manner is wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Really, the hammer's kind of the best way to avoid damage, though. What am I talking about? The katana. Yeah, like, Resident Evil puzzles kind of amount to, like, children's toy style puzzles, like sliding puzzles in Resident Evil 4, for example. Resident Evil 3 has a bunch of, like, actuate a bunch of these levers in order to get the lights in the right position. There is one really, like, decent puzzle. Two or three, maybe. 2 or 3 decent puzzles in Resident Evil 3. But they don't require the sort of, like, logical leaps, or, you know, not even logical leap, but they don't require you to logically put together things quite as hard as Silent Hill does. You know, the clues that they give you are cryptic enough that you have to, you gotta use your damn head and be like, what is it trying to tell me? What is the meaning of this? I'm interested in this. Okay, so I got that. Boom. Katana's OP. BT dubs. Whereas, like, Resident Evil puzzles are more like, alright, so you got these numbers, you got these levers, you got, you know, like an object or two. Try it out. Find the right configuration. And then, you know, while some of the puzzles are a little bit nice, it still just amounts to brute force. And you can brute force pretty much any puzzle. But with, like, with, like, Resident Evil puzzles, they kind of demand that you brute force them. Because you need to see, like, all right, I'm trying to release steam. Oops, I'm trying to release steam from this valve to lower pressure on generator, whatever, some bullshit like that. There's nothing that you see beforehand that will tell you what will turning this lever do, what will turning that lever do. You just have to do them and find out. You know, experiment with the permutations of configuration. Whack, 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 whack. Call that a knife? Well, I mean, it's more of a scalpel, mate. This is a sword. So really, we're kind of in the same boat. Give me that. This is a knife. Not a very good one, but a knife, nonetheless.